Title: When Friends Betray, Talia's Heartbreak and Revenge. In the heart of Okuta, a vibrant village settled around the river Omi, life brimmed with traditions, festivals, and an unyielding reverence for the gods. The villagers' faith centered around the sacred grove, where the god's will was said to manifest through the high priest and priestess. Yet beneath this serene facade lay a tale of betrayal, ambition, and ultimate justice. High Priest Zuberi believed his destiny was entwined with the gods. For years, he awaited the divine selection of Okuta's next high priestess. He was certain the mantle would fall upon his daughter, Omari, as it was tradition for the priestess to emerge from the high priest bloodline. But the gods had other plans. As he waited patiently for the gods' guidance, the fell in a trance. The gods of Okuta rarely spoke directly to mortals, but when they did, their words shaped destinies. In his trance, the god spoke.
The chosen one shall rise outside your lineage, pure of heart, a beacon of justice, and her lineage shall restore balance to Okuta. She will carry the mantle of the gods and will lead the people back to truth. For the house of the high priest has been tainted by greed and corruption. Her name is Talia, daughter of Elder Baruka.
The prophecy shattered Zuberi's dreams and unmasked the darkness in his heart. Envy, greed, and corruption had tainted his soul, but Zuberi refused to yield to the god's decree. His ambition turned to fury, and his heart harbored a sinister vow. Talia and her family would pay for this divine slight. How dare the gods bypass his family? The prophecy not only threatened his ambition, but also exposed his growing sins, selling sacred herbs to merchants, extorting the villagers, and using fear to maintain power. The gods may have spoken, Zuberi thought darkly, but I decide what happens in Okuta. Omari was born to privilege as the daughter of High Priest Zuberi. Her beauty was only matched by her cunning. From a young age, Omari had been groomed for the position of High Priestess, training rigorously in rituals and sacred duties. Zuberi shared the prophecy with Omari, planting the seed of betrayal. "If someone seeks to steal your birthright, what will you do?" he asked. Omari's face twisted with rage. "I will stop them, father. No one will take what belongs to me." She was restless that night, as lay on her bed, thinking of what her father had told her, and her heart seethed with anger. She thought of Talia, her friend. The two grew up as close friends, or so Talia believed. Omari's charm hid her jealousy well. While Talia loved the simple joys of life, helping her mother cook, playing with her younger siblings, and visiting the market, Omari envied how the villagers adored her. Talia's natural charm and generosity earned her the villagers' love, but it also ignited a dark envy in Omari. "She thinks she's so perfect," Omari muttered angrily under her breath while she tossed on her bed. Her thought went to Diala, a charming boy with an adventurous spirit who was their constant companion. Though they all played together, Diala's bond with Talia was stronger. He admired her kindness and quick wit, often preferring her company over Omari's. Talia, with her bright laugh and generous heart, was the star of their little group. Omari, however, simmered with jealousy. Though she hid her feelings, she resented how easily Talia earned Diala's admiration. "She is taking everything from me, my position and the boy I liked," Omari sobbed, and in the middle of the night with the bloodless moon shining on the village, Omari vowed to deal with Talia. The next day, while the three of them were climbing trees by the river, Diala teased, "Talia, I think you're braver than Omari. She always hesitates before climbing." Omari snapped, "Bravery is overrated. Intelligence is what matters." Talia laughed. "Then you must be the smartest of us, Omari." Omari forced a smile, but the bitterness inside her grew. As they walked through the sacred grove, Omari asked Talia, What would you do if the gods chose you as the high priestess? Talia laughed. The gods have greater concerns than me, Omari. I'm just a simple girl. Your heritage has already chosen you as one, Talia told her. You are the chief priest daughter, so the position of the high priestess is yours. The gods will choose you. But when Talia turned away, Omari's eyes darkened. We'll see about that, she whispered. In the center of the sacred grove by the shrine stood the sacred fruits of star apple tree. It was forbidden by the gods for villagers to pluck the fruits of the tree. You can only pick the fruits that have fallen on the ground, as those were seen as ripe and blessed by the gods. The grave offense was punishable by death or exile for the whole family. Fueled by her father's manipulations, Omari set a cruel plan in motion. She planted evidence in Talia's home, framing her for desecrating the sacred star apple tree, a crime punishable by exile, or worst. I'm sorry, Talia, Omari wept crocodile tears, but I saw you near the shrine that day. I should have spoken up sooner. Diala spoke up for his friend and was shut down. He helplessly watched as the Talia house was burnt by the miscreants bribed by the chief priest, while the family was dragged to the village square to be sentenced. Talia protested her innocence, but the elders, swayed by Zuberi's influence, decreed her family's exile. The villagers' whispers ranged from condemnation to doubt. Some saw the exile as divine punishment. Others silently questioned the fairness of the judgment. Talia stared at her supposed friend with tears in her eyes. Why, Omari? What have I done to deserve this? She sobbed, while Diala tried to comfort her, but Omari, feigning sorrow, lied once more. I warned you, Talia, but you wouldn't listen. The betrayal cut deeper than any punishment. Talia's heart shattered as her family faced exile. On their journey to exile, Talia's family was ambushed by bandits hired by Zuberi. Among the travelers were a farmer, his wife, and their daughter, returning home for the festival. The attack was brutal, leaving only Talia and the farmer's wife alive. Hiding in the underbrush, they watched in horror as their loved ones were slaughtered. The farmer's wife, Abeni, was from Okuta. She recognized the injustice of Talia's plight and took her under her wing. Introducing Talia as her daughter, Abeni vowed to raise her as her own and seek justice for their fallen loved ones. Years passed. Talia, now 18, grew into a resilient and determined young woman under Abeni's care. Abeni had returned to her maiden home in Okuta, bringing Talia with her. She introduced her as Adama, her deceased daughter, and the villagers welcomed them with open arms. But Talia's heart burned with the memory of betrayal, a silent vow for vengeance and answers. Meanwhile, Omari had grown into a poised and confident young woman, still the favorite to become the next high priestess. Diala, now a skilled warrior, remained haunted by Talia's death and the mysterious circumstances of her family's death. Though Omari sought to win his affections, Diala's heart remained distant, his thoughts often drifting to his lost friend. Diala met Adama standing in front of the burnt home of Talia one evening while coming back from hunt. He always visits to ensure that grasses do not overrun the homestead of his friend. When he saw Adama standing there, looking so heartbreakingly familiar, he approached her with a wary look. "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" Adama's heart ached as she recognized her friend standing in front of her. "My name is Adama, daughter of Abeni. I am new in the village and lost my way. Can you point me to the right path?" she asked. Diala stared intently at the calm, beautiful face, looking at him without any hint of recognition. "Come with me," he said. "I will take you to your house," while walking in front of her. Adama began spending time with Diala, claiming she needed his help learning about the village. Their conversations rekindled the bond they had before. One day, as they sat by the river, Diala said, "You remind me of someone I lost, a friend who was kind and brave. She didn't deserve what happened to her." Talia's heart ached, but she smiled. Maybe the gods gave you another friend to help you heal. Deala looked at her, his eyes filled with unspoken emotions. Maybe they did. Over time, their bond deepened. Adama admired Diala's integrity and his unwavering sense of justice. He, in turn, was captivated by her wit and beauty. Omari couldn't ignore the growing closeness between Adama and Diala. She has tried to rekindle their friendship when Talia's family was exiled and subsequent death. But Diala had always given her a cold shoulder. She has not given up and was hopeful that soon Diala will see her for the love and affection she always have for him. And now this Adama of a girl is trying to take what is hers. One evening, during a village celebration, Omari approached Diala, her movements graceful and deliberate. She wore a deep red wrapper adorned with gold beads, the color symbolizing passion. Her braided hair was adorned with fresh flowers. "Diala," she said, her voice soft. "I know you think poorly of me," she began, "but I'm not the monster you believe I am. All I've ever wanted is to be loved." "You've become quite the warrior. I see why the villagers admire you so much." Diala bowed slightly. "Thank you, Omari. You honor me with your words." She smiled, stepping closer. "I've missed our childhood days, haven't you? Perhaps we should spend more time together. I could use a strong man like you by my side." Diala's eyes flickered with discomfort. "I'm flattered, Omari, but my path is different now." Undeterred, Omari tried again days later. She invited Diala to the high priest's compound under the pretense of discussing village matters. During their meeting, she leaned in, her hand brushing his. "Diala, don't you think we would make a powerful pair? Together, we could lead this village to greatness." Diala pulled back, his voice firm. "Omari, I respect you, but my heart lies elsewhere." Omari's smile faltered. "With Adama?" she asked, bitterness lacing her tone. Diala's silence confirmed her fears. Consumed by jealousy, Omari confronted Adama one evening near the sacred grove. Adama was returning from her secret visit to the shrine when Omari blocked her path. "Stay away from Diala," Omari hissed. Adama tilted her head, feigning innocence. "Why, Omari? Are you worried he might choose me?" Omari's eyes blazed. "You think you're so clever, don't you? But you're nothing more than a foolish girl biting more than she can chew. Stay away from Diala, or I will deal with you and your family." "Like the way you dealt with your friend Talia and her family?" Adama asked with a calm demeanor. "How dare you?" Omari fumes in anger and shock. Her hand twitched as if she wanted to strike Adama, but she held back. "Mark my words, Adama. You'll regret crossing me." Adama watched her storm away, her resolve hardening. Omari's desperation was a reminder that her revenge was far from complete. Weeks later, as Adama and Diala sat by the riverbank, their bond finally reached a turning point. Adama skipped stones across the water, her laughter echoing through the stillness. Diala watched her, his expression serious. "Adama, I need to tell you something." She looked at him, her smile fading. "What is it?" Diala hesitated, then took her hand. "I don't know what it is about you, but you feel familiar, like someone I've known forever. I've tried to fight it, but I can't. I care for you, Adama." Adama's heart ached with a mix of joy and sorrow. She wanted to tell him the truth, but knew the time wasn't right. Instead, she whispered, "I care for you too, Diala, more than you know." They sat in silence, the weight of their unspoken truths hanging between them. The festival of the sacred drum marked the god's selection of the new high priestess. Omari, brimming with confidence, believed the mantle was hers. She had trained her entire life for this moment and was certain her father's influence would secure her place. Talia, under the guise of Adama, also participated. As the maidens gathered in the sacred grove, the drumbeat grew louder, echoing through the grove, and the villagers held their breath. Suddenly, a voice thundered while the sky darkened in the day.
The chosen one shall rise outside the lineage of the high priest. Pure of heart, a beacon of justice, she shall restore balance to Okuta. Her name is Talia, daughter of Elder Baruka.
Gasps rippled through the crowd. Omari's face turned pale, her composure cracking. Talia stepped forward, her identity revealed. The villagers murmured in shock and awe as Talia addressed them. I stand before you not as an exile, but as the gods' chosen. My family was wronged, and the truth shall come to light. Omari is horrified. That's impossible, she cries, backing away. You died. We were told you were slayed, she screamed. Do you now recognize me, Omari? I am Talia, the girl you and your father betrayed and killed. Omari collapses in despair, her guilt consuming her. Diala stared at her, disbelief and wonder mixing in his expression. Talia? How is this possible? Adama placed her hand on his cheek. The gods work in ways we can't always understand, but I need your help to finish what I started. Diala nodded, tears in his eyes. I never stopped mourning you, Talia. I will stand by your side, no matter what. With Diala's help, Talia exposed Zuberi and Omari's treachery. She presented evidence of their corruption, including Zuberi's dealings with merchants and his role in the bandit attack. The villagers, enraged, demanded justice. The elders stripped Zuberi of his title, and he and Omari were banished from Okuta. The villagers rebuilt their faith under Talia's guidance, and the sacred grove once again became a place of reverence and peace. In time, Adama became the high priestess, leading with justice and compassion. The gods blessed her union with Diala, and their love became a symbol of hope for the village. Standing in the sacred grove, Adama whispered, I kept my promise, Mother, Father. Our family is avenged. The sacred drum echoed in the distance as the people of Okuta began a new chapter, guided by a priestess who rose from the ashes of betrayal and pain. Talia and Diala's bond deepened as they worked together to heal their village. Though their journey had been fraught with pain, it led to a new era of justice and harmony in Okuta. The end. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.